G'day guys, my name's Alec. I'm here from Better Music's bass department, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the precision bass and the jazz bass from Fender. These are the basses that started it all off for the electric bass player, and it's been a staple diet in the bands around the world, from rock, blues, jazz, funk, whatever it's been. Jazz bass or the P bass has been there, one of the two. The electric bass as we know it today was invented back in 1951 with Leo Fender at the helm, designing something that was small and portable, but it was able to play loud and boomy on the gigs that these double basses couldn't quite make it through. So the bass that he first came out with was a telly style bass in 51, and now in 57 we came out with this stunning rendition of the P bass that has survived to this day. Small changes have been made to it, but majority of it stayed the same throughout that time. The two basses we're going to be testing out today are both Fender American standards, both in the jazz bass and the P bass shape. They both share notable characteristics, but are different in different ways as well. P bass here that I have here is a 2014 P bass American standard. Comes with a satin finished neck, custom shop pickups, high mass bridge, Fender F lightweight tuning machine heads, and comes in either a maple or a rosewood finish, fingerboard, sorry. The finishes range from our Olympic whites and sunbursts, as well as pearl jade, blacks, whatever you can think of really, blues and reds. So what I'd like to do today is just show you a few sounds that you can get from these bad boys and see if it can make up the minds of the people who are trying to guess whether I should get a P bass or a jazz bass. Personally, I own both and use them for different settings and different bands from whatever I come across. The choice is yours. So P basses just like this one here have been played around the world by some of the most famous bass players that have walked the earth, such as James Jamerson, Pino Palladino, Steve Harris, Sting, countless others. What I want to do today is just give you an idea of the sort of sounds that you can get from a bass like this. First riff I'm going to play for you has got the volume and the tone pumped up full to get a nice boomy sort of sound out of it, but still a bit of crunch to the notes. The next sound we're going to have a look at is rolling back the tone on the bass. So we're getting a thumpier sort of sound, and we're going to go for sort of a sound that you might hear from players like Donald Duck Dunn or James Jamerson, in that Motown soul sort of feel. So let's have a listen. The final one that we're going to have a look at tonight is we're going to have a look at the pick with the P bass. A lot of people really love this sound, and I've been especially asked to do this. I'm not much of a pick player, but I'm going to try and give you an idea of what it's going to sound like. We got your tone sitting at about 6 on the bass, the volume's still up full. So let's see what it sounds like. Great, so now we've had a look at the P bass, let's move on to the jazz bass, or what Leo Fender was thinking back in the 60s, his deluxe model of the electric bass. Same with what happened with the Telly and the Stratocaster. Instead of releasing as many guitars as he could with different features, they started to modify each instrument. The P bass got modified, and so did the jazz bass throughout the time until today. What we've got on this American Standard today is a satin finish neck, maple satin finish neck, rosewood fretboard. It also comes in a maple outer body, 260 custom shop pickups with both a volume control for each pickup and your master tone, as well as a high mass vintage style bridge and the lightweight tuners, just like what we saw on the Fender P bass. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick sound with the tone and the volumes all the way up, and I'll compare the same riff that we played on that P bass and see if you can hear the difference in what this bass can do compared to that. So next off, we're going to roll off this neck pickup a bit, focusing mainly on the back pickup, on the bridge, so we get that tighter sort of sound. And then I'm going to just have a bit more tone happening in there. So probably sitting about, if we were going from 1 to 10, you're probably sitting around 4 or something like that. So I'll give you a demo of how that sounds, and you'll notice it's a drastic difference in what the tone was from before. Another tone that you can really get from the bass, and a lot of people love it, is the jazz bass's slap tone. So what I've got going here, it's really up to the different player, but I've got the bridge pickup running a bit hotter, with the back one coming off a bit, and more tone bumped up to about 6 or 8 on the tone side of things. So I'll give you a small kind of demonstration on how the slap tone goes on these basses. One of the last tones I'd like to talk about is everyone thinks of this as a jazz bass, so we might as well do a bit of jazz on it. So let's have a walk on it and see if that boomy sort of sound that you hear from all your classic double bass recordings can translate over to the electric. Great, so as you can see, both of these basses, great tones coming from them. The jazz bass, like we've heard from many different people, Jaco Pastorius, Geddy Lee, Marcus Miller, you know, varying styles of music, but it all cuts through with the jazz bass. Same with your P bass. You know, personally, I think that if I'm going for a certain tone, a bit of growl and punch that needs to come through, I'm going to take my jazz bass to the gig. If it's my rock gigs or my blues gigs or whatever the instrumentation of the group is as well, really has an effect on what bass I'm going to bring. Same with the P bass, using it with my Latin gigs, or if I don't really want to take my double bass out to a gig, I'll take the P bass, just so I get a big thunderous sort of sound that's always present in the mix. Thanks again for watching, guys. My name's Alec. I'm here in the bass section. If you guys have got any questions at all, or you want to come in and have a play of any of these basses, we'd love to see you. If you got any questions, you can get on to us, either giving us a call through the website or via email. You got any questions, please let us know. Until next time, we'll see you later.
And answer it the best we can. So today, the first one, I'm going to go through pickup heights and how to get the most out of your pickups. So the golden rule, and what I was told when I was, when I was starting to learn how to set up guitars is